Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back to do another tape analysis of last Thursday's 21-7 loss to the Cleveland Browns. As you can tell by the title, the topic today we're looking at is, why does the Steelers' run game suck? We know that it sucks, we know it's been terrible, and the boring answer is, there are a litany of issues. It's not centered around one thing when you're having this much failure. It's offensive line not blocking well enough, it's running backs not doing their job, not creating, it's tight ends and wide receivers not doing a good enough job blocking downfield. It's schematic stuff. It's things like having a young quarterback where teams are going to stop the run and dare you to pass. It's all of those things. They're all correct to say. But we do want to talk about specifics, point to actual singular issues to look at, and start piecing this thing together to try to figure out how this run game can at least take steps to get better, especially because they're probably going to be without James Conner on Sunday against the Bengals. So what we're looking at today, and I thought a central issue to the lack of success in the Browns game, was linemen not getting to the second level, and the linebackers running free, playing clean. And anytime you have a linebacker, I don't care how good they are, I don't care if they're Luke Kuechly, or I don't care if they're Tyler Matakevich, if they're free and unblocked, able to read the running back and go wherever they want, your run game is not going to have any level of consistent success. So we're going to look at 4 plays, three bad, 1 good, to look at the difference of when it works and when it doesn't. First play here is a power scheme, DeCastro pulling. Villanueva's trying to get this down block here because to the front side of a power and a gap scheme, you want to be able to secure this block to not allow any sort of penetration so the guard can pull without getting sent wide. But Villanueva doesn't do a great job getting the down block and then can't work to the Mike linebacker, which is Mack Wilson, the rookie, and he's free and clean and able to make the play. So let's take this thing kind of step by step. I wanted to give you the overall view of what we're talking about for this play. Now we'll break it down. So you got Villanueva trying to secure this down block here on number 91, the 3-tech. Has a little issue to it because he slants down, takes extra time, he can't get to the second level in time, and it creates a big problem because 51 is now working clean and free to attack the ball carrier. So Villanueva trying to get this down block, has some trouble with it, and either that was by design or someone else is supposed to come up to the linebacker. Either way, number 51, Mack Wilson, is working free here. So DeCastro does a nice job to be able to kick out the puller. You got a nice down block here from Zach Banner, but 51 again is working free. In the hole. And missed kind of block here too, but now Edmonds has to bounce this one wide. Only goes for a gain of 2 yards because, again, 51 is working free. If you get that guy blocked, you got a shot at this play. If you don't have much of a chance. So again, look at it. Down block from Villanueva. He can't climb to the Mike linebacker. Ends up trying to pick off the Will linebacker instead. Everything else gets picked up well. Nice down block here. Good pull and kick out by DeCastro on Schobert, but you left 51 free. So I run this thing through one more time. Again, you got a free linebacker. Again, some other issues on this play. Vanette probably didn't make a great block, but if 51 gets this thing gets blocked, then maybe Edmonds is able to cut up field, not have to bounce it wide, because Vanette's trying to have a kick out or kind of a hinge block here to keep 44 to the outside. So it's actually not a terrible job by Vanette. He kind of loses it here, but again, his job is to keep 44 outside. Edmonds ideally is going to be cutting off the inside hip, but DeCastro pulling behind. But because 51 fills that gap, Edmonds has to bounce. Now 44 is able to contain this thing, but its block and his scheme and his angle doesn't matter as much anymore, and the play just kind of goes to waste. So one more time, I know I said it for real this time, one more time, and then we'll move on to the next play. Again, watch Villanueva, and watch how it affects the rest of the play by 51 being free. Okay, late second quarter. This is a 2-yard run by Jalen Samuels. This kind of toss play we've seen several times from Randy Fichtner before. You think about the Patriots game last year with Jalen Samuels, where he kind of came on scene for the first time. This is a very popular concept. Works well on paper. In practice, though, a lot goes wrong here. But again, what I want to point to, again, I'm not picking on Villanueva. We'll talk about other guys here. I think, actually, maybe we're not. I think we'll talk about Villanueva for the next play, too. But it's not just him. But on this play, they're trying to be able to secure the front side of this block on the D-tackle here, and the penetration he gets throws his whole play out of whack. So let's run this thing through. Ogunjobi one-gapping, shooting this gap, trying to get this combo block, and once it's secured, Villanueva can now work to the second level to pick up Schobert, but because of the penetration here, Villanueva Foster, they got to take a lot more time trying to secure this first level block, can't get released to the second level, and that allows 53 Schobert to run free. So again, Villanueva loses the block, he's on the ground, off balance, just a wreck immediately. Another power scheme here. And 53, working clean, working unblocked. Again, other issues on this play, sure. The pull by McDonald on Garrett, that's not a matchup that's very attractive. You got backside pursuit. A lot of issues on this play, but particularly to the front side. If you can't secure the front side block at all, then you can't work to the second level. and it just kind of compounds and it creates just a mess of a run scheme where, again, you're back. Granted, they've struggled, Jalen Samuels and Trey Edmonds, but they really have no chance to make a play here. So look at this thing one more time. Again, trying to secure this block. They can't do it. Villanueva now is just lost. Schobert's free. Helps fill this thing. Even though he didn't make the tackle, he's filling the gap and slows the whole play up. Richardson, I think, comes in to make the tackle officially for a gain of 2. Here's a really good example of what we're talking about. This is very similar to the last play we looked at, where, again, having trouble securing this front side block between Ramon Foster, Alejandro Villanueva on Larry Ogunjobi, and it allows the linebacker to run free. So let's look at this one. Another power run. Again, trying to secure the front side, be able to block this thing down so he can't penetrate, otherwise it's going to throw the path of DeCastro off, it's going to throw the back off, it's going to throw the whole play out of whack, like I said earlier. And again, having trouble securing this one, being able to get this one washed down so Villanueva can climb and release the second level. So they got it. There's too much time focusing on this one. Schobert's running free. Now Villanueva, once it's kind of secured, Villanueva's trying to release to the second level. It's too late. Schobert's already able to scrape over, get leverage on Villanueva, not athletic enough to be able to make this play and get to the second level and make this block. Villanueva trying to make this block. It's too late. Schobert, a really good linebacker, tackle Samuels, and this one went for no gain. So let me run this whole thing through again. Watch the front side here. Honestly, outside of that, this thing's blocked up well. If Villanueva was able to make this block and work the Schobert in really any capacity to hinder him and slow him up at all, this thing's got a chance to go for at least a positive gain, maybe even a decent gain. If you got a good block here, you got the receiver stock block in the corner, you got DeCastro on the kick out. You had some good blocks on this play, but with offensive line play, if one guy is unable to do his job, more times than not, the whole play falls apart. And yes, the back has to be able to make plays and create and make tackles, but it's not going to happen every single time, especially with a guy like Jalen Samuels, who's not a great runner, and when you're facing a good linebacker in Joe Schobert. So again, really good job here by Ogunjobi. He really blew up the front side of a lot of these gap schemes that really kind of created a headache for the Steelers, but linemen unable to get to the second level is a huge problem in the Steelers run game. Taking extra time to secure this block, trying to release the linebacker. If this thing's not on time, your lineman has no chance. So one last look, and then we'll look at a play where it actually worked positively, and we'll show you the difference between what happens, whenever you're able to make those second level blocks. Okay, fourth quarter, one of the very, very few positive runs on the day for Pittsburgh, a 9-yard gain by Trey Edmonds. And again, same gap power scheme we've been looking at. And again, what we said earlier was securing the front side block on gap and power is the most critical block of all. It's what you're going to get here between Matt Fowler and David DeCastro. And they do a great job here of being able to secure the first level block, carry it to the second level to the linebacker, Fowler be able to come off of that, disengage, and climb and work to the linebacker. So again, love the technique here, this hip-to-hip, knee-to-knee relationship, securing this block, driving the lineman off the ball, carrying him to the linebacker, so it's very easy for Fowler to disengage right here, come off, pick up the linebacker, power scheme again, Foster on the kick out, creates this big lane for Trey Edmonds that gives him a lot of space, a big runway, and gets 9 yards out of it. That's ideal, being able to work this first level block, carry it to the second level, right tackle comes off of it, works to the linebacker, picks him up, covers those linebackers out. You don't have to make this amazing block. You don't have to pancake guys. You don't have to have a highlight reel type block. You just got to get in his way enough that you're going to get positive yards, give your back a chance, and Fowler does have a nice block here that lets Edmonds go for 9 yards. This is something that gets repped all the time. You go to a training camp practice in Latrobe, I promise you every single day you're going to be watching the offensive linemen when they're doing individual drills, working on combo blocking, working on their steps, their relationship, and then someone peeling off and climbing to the second level. You haven't seen that well enough from the Steelers' run game. It was super evident in Thursday's loss, and it's got to get better going forward. Again, especially without James Conner, I think the Steelers will get back Benny Snell for Sunday, which is a positive. But if there's no blocking, this thing's not going to work. So one last look at it here, and then we'll get you out of here in this video. Again, great job here securing this block, hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, knee to knee. Outside step versus with Fowler's inside step. Really good job to drive this one. Excellent technique. Fowler's now able to climb off of it once the block's secured. Foster on the kick out. McDonald, nice block too. And just a huge runway for Trey Edmonds. And it's a positive gain, a rare one, in Thursday's loss. So that's where it starts. All starts with the offensive line. They certainly are capable of this. We've seen this before. Got to play better with technique, more physicality, better pad level. If they do that, the Steelers' run game will improve. If they don't, it's not going to stand much of a chance. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, whether you're watching on YouTube, following me on Twitter at Alex_Kozora, or following the website SteelersDepot.com. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll talk